Welcome to my Days of Our Lives official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Paulina receives a warm welcome home at Steve and Kayla's townhouse. Abe thanked Steve and Kayla for taking him in after Abe had lost his recollections nearly a time before. Steve agreed to meet Abe and Kayla at Paulina's surprise party latterly. Abe and Kayla left for the sanitarium. In Paulina's room at the sanitarium, Paulina was anxious to return home. Chanel tried to calm Paulina, who expressed relief that she'd be okay following her health dread. Abe and Kayla appeared shortly latterly. Everyone was pleased as Paulina was wheeled out of the sanitarium room. At the spectator office, Leo pondered colorful captions to describe Clyde's escape from Statesville. Chad grew worried when he perceived that Leo was being callous in regard to Clyde. Leo apologized to Chad, who said that the image of chancing Abigail Boggled was commodity he'd no way forget. Chad added that he hoped Clyde would be captured before Clyde killed again. Leo sympathized with Chad, who asked Leo to cover Paulina's release from the sanitarium. Leo agreed, and he thanked Chad for showing confidence in him. After Leo left, Chad flashed back to visiting Abigail's grave and the words he would spoken to her on the one-time anniversary of her murder. By the nurse's station at the sanitarium, a covey of journalists stopped Paulina and inquired about her recovery. Leo was among the journalists, and he asked Paulina to describe what had happened. Paulina gave a brief statement in which she expressed gratefulness for the support of everyone in Salem. Abe and Kayla attended Paulina out of the sanitarium. Leo pledged to follow up with Paulina. At the Salem police station, Jada told Harris that she would try to visit him at his room above the Brady pub before but had set up the room empty. Jada told Harris to tell her where he would been. Harris flashed back to making love to Ava. Harris was tight-lipped, but he ultimately admitted that he'd spent the night with Ava. Jada said that she had a problem with Ava and Harris being together. Jada complained at length about Ava's presence in Harris's life, and she said that Harris and Ava's relationship was invoked to the Salem PD's law of conduct. "If anybody knows about ignoring law of conduct, Jada, it's you," Harris shot back. Harris indicted Jada of insincerity. Jada pushed back, noting that she had arrested her family months before. Jada indicted Harris of breaking the rules, and she told him not to immolate himself for Ava. Back at the spectator office, Chad was startled when a crapulous Stefan appeared. Chad asked why Stefan was drunk at 8 o'clock in the morning. Stefan asked if Chad had ever had any deep regrets. Stefan participated that he'd been allowing about what went down between Stefan and Abigail times before. Stefan began to apologize to Chad. "What I need to say to you. You did not earn that. Neither did Abby. She was a beautiful soul who was so kind and smart. Heart of gold. And me? I was a selfish, arrogant bastard," Stefan said solemnly. Stefan shifted the discussion to Clyde's escape. "And now, the son of a wine who took Abigail's life is back on the thoroughfares, and I cannot imagine how that makes you feel. I need you to know. I had nothing to do with Weston escaping." "Nothing at each," Stefan said. Chad was confused by Stefan's comment. "Stay a nanosecond. Why would I suppose that you had anything to do with Clyde escaping?" Chad asked. Stefan escaped the question, and he said that he loved Chad. Chad told Stefan to sober up. Stefan said that he was formerly sobering up and that he'd to face the music. Chad asked what Stefan meant. Stefan grunted commodity about chess moves. Chad remained confused. Stefan said only that Chad had given him clarity. On his way out, Stefan appertained to Chad as the good Demera, and he added that Chad inspired Stefan to be a better man. Stefan told Chad to take care, and the two sisters hugged. When Chad asked if Stefan was okay to drive, Stefan said that he was as sober and clear-headed as he could be. After Stefan left, Chad sat alone at his office. Chad goggled at a family Christmas portrayal of his last Christmas with Abigail, Thomas, and Charlotte. "I miss you." "Okay, got to get back to work," Chad said. After opening his laptop, Chad read a caption, "Killer, Medicine Lord Clyde Weston escapes from captivity." Chad read audibly before angrily slamming the laptop shut. Chad closed his eyes and took a deep breath. "I worked so hard to try to purify that son of a wine from my brain, and... oh, I hope he rots in hell," Chad said sprucely. Back at the Salem police station moments laterally, Jada was continuing to lecture Harris about Ava when Stefan appeared. Stefan said that he was there to turn himself in for medicine trafficking and plutocrat laundering. Stefan added that Clyde had forced him to push medicines through the bistro and to censor plutocrat. Jada tried to move Stefan to admit that Ava had helped censor the plutocrat. Stefan said that he'd acted alone. "And when Ava said about what I was over to, I ordered her to keep her mouth shut, or consequences would be dire," Stefan said. Stefan added that Ava had had no part in anything illegal. "So, you want to get my family, Thed.A, on the phone? I am ready to cut a deal," Stefan told Harris and Jada. At Abe and Paulina's extension, Steve and Johnny were thrilled that Abe and Paulina were moving back in together. Johnny noted that Steve and John had set up Trip and Wendy, and he asked how Clyde had been suitable to escape from Statesville. Johnny said that there was a warm place in hell for whoever had helped Clyde escape. Steve worked to change the subject before Johnny stepped into the kitchen. Moments laterally, Steve sounded distracted when Johnny returned and mentioned balloons and other decorations the two of them had set up. Just also, Abe, Paulina, Chanel, and Kayla entered. They were excited by the sight of the decorations. Kayla credited Steve and Johnny for their help with the surprise party. Abe and Paulina noted that everyone had a lot to be thankful for, and they smiled warmly at each other. Hard, Kayla spotted Steve, who sounded uneasy. Kayla asked Steve what was troubling him. Steve was tight-lipped, and he told Kayla that it was nothing to worry about. Just also, Leo entered with a vase of flowers for Paulina, who was unimpressed with Leo's gesture. Leo worked to flatter Paulina, who ultimately agreed to grant Leo a 10-nanosecond interview. Paulina added that Leo had written emotional pieces for The Spectator about the history of the Horton house, as well as the city's festivity of MLK Day. Leo was touched by Paulina's words, and he said that Paulina was a treasure. Chanel returned with celebratory mimosas for everyone. Paulina agreed with Leo's description that her recovery had been miraculous, and she spoke about having love and faith, nethermost line. "I got a alternate change, and I plan to make the utmost of it. I got a palm because of this mysterious phenomenon, and with the forenamed love and faith, I believe we can overcome anything," Paulina said. Everyone gathered raised a glass as they heeded. Paulina. Abe, Chanel, Steve, Kayla, and Leo all said that they loved Paulina. Leo grew emotional when he said that it was an honor to be in Paulina's presence. "I know that I'm typically the ridiculous relief. That's my MO, to make people laugh. But for now, I'll back burner my amazing sense of humor to say, in Humorless, that you aren't only a brilliant mayor, but you're a gem of a mortal being," Leo said affectionately to Paulina. Chanel fooled that Leo was a nice person when he put his sense of humor on the back burner. Leo thanked Chanel, and he said that Paulina was an idol. Abe agreed, and he added that Paulina was the light of his family. Chad's caller, Harris miscalculations, Paulina's surprise, Leo Snoop's Days of Our Lives spoilers for Thursday, March 21st indicate that Chad DiMera will have an unanticipated caller. Will Stefan DiMera turn to him or help again? Harris Michaels realizes Ava Vitali isn't as pious as he allowed. Paulina Price gets an affable surprise when she gets home. Leo snoops for a story at the DiMera manse for a story. DOL spoilers Chad DiMera's visitor Stefan has landed himself in Quiet the Mess and he has tried every way to get out of it. This includes giving EJ DiMera the slip after giving down all of his DiMera shares to EJ. Still, this was forced upon Stefan and he cannot indeed say farewell to his woman. Who and know what happened to him? Stefan needs to get down from EJ and Harris and that law. After all, Harris is blackmailing Stefan as well, so he confesses to helping Clyde Weston and to clear Ava's name.